He's the only driver in NASCAR history to directly follow a Rookie of the Year award with a Winston Cup championship title.
That is the best race car driver I know.
I looked up to him, I respected him, but at the same time we were competitors, but he knew that I wanted to learn from him if he was willing, and he was.
Pass 2 wide and 3 wide, and it's like, how does he do that?
He didn't worry about finesse. He just manhandled the car.
The faster he could go, the better he seemed to enjoy.
Then when you went by him, he'd hit you twice.
Marlin is spinning, hitting the wall. Earnhardt survives, but Bodine and Schrader both go to the infield in a spin.
The checkered flag has fallen. The Chevrolet team, led by Dale Earnhardt, is the winner of this year's NASCAR point standings. Dale and his Chevy Lumina clinched the title in the AC Delco 500 at Rockingham, North Carolina. So congratulations to Dale and the entire Chevy team.
We won last year. Now we've got something that is even to another level. We're a team that is going to go compete for the championship, and we're going to have to go through Earnhardt to do it. And immediately he started kind of playing the games that he plays, not just on the track, but within the media. And it immediately built this rivalry among our fans.
Dale knew how to play the game, and he made this a bigger deal than it really was because he was trying to sell t-shirts.
It's true. What he brought was not just the ability to drive a race car that was unbelievable, but he had like a marketing mind that he was constantly figuring out, how can we push the envelope, make the sport bigger, grow the sport? How can I, do something on the track that's going to garner more fans?
How often, if ever, would he go to school functions or
Never.
sporting
He missed graduation.
events?
I played soccer when I was a freshman in high school. I had never seen a game. He never went to any of those games, but he missed my graduation. I was really disappointed with that. I mean, I have no pictures of my high school graduation. Not a damn decent photo. I went to it and had my gown on and went home. It just, Dad wasn't there. They were racing somewhere.
The funny thing about being his son was, like, I knew him as this dad, and then I also knew him as this almost fictional character, the superhero that I had taped in my school locker. I had a series of photographs of Dad's flip at Pocono in 1982, driving Bud Moore's car. I would open my locker and see that, and I'd go, my dad's a badass, and I'm his son. But him and I didn't connect mentally. He was this tough, ornery, hardworking, dirt under his fingernails, could do anything guy, and I was tiny, short, and shy, and quiet. Like, I wasn't making any sense to him.
Remember, we were in Japan, we'd done the race, went back to Tokyo, and we had one night before we left the next day, or maybe that night we left, I can't remember. And we went to this Japanese steakhouse, which I loved, Japanese steakhouses. But this one's a little bit different, where they brought out shrimp that were still alive and put them on the grill and cook them right in front of you. And then they cut the head off, and then they serve it to somebody at the table. And of course, he picked me. Yeah. And so he's like, no, Jeff, this is for good luck. This is a delicacy. I'm like, and of course he tells me to do it. I did it. And I mean, I didn't love it, but it was like, now it's a story, right? And I'll never forget, he got me into drinking vodka and grapefruit juice too. He was like, oh, this is the best.
He was culturing you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he did. I mean, and so it made me want to look at beyond racing and how to enjoy racing, work hard at it, but enjoy the fruits of your labor. And I saw that through him. And I don't know if a lot of people knew how high end he lived.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it right, but he didn't bring that up.
We talked quite a bit during the off season. Even though I think we were down, I don't think either one of us had really lost our confidence. I don't think we'd lost our confidence in each other. So much was said and so much was written about your dad and I not getting along, and that really was untrue.
Really?
Yeah, we had some spirited conversations, don't get me wrong. I looked at your dad as my friend. And, you know, even after Richard split us up, you know, your dad and I still had many conversations. You know, I think our personalities were so different. It's like Richard told me when he made the decision to swap crew chiefs, which I'm very thankful, you know, he didn't just come in and fire me, which he probably had every right to. He said, best thing I can tell you, Larry, you intimidated the damn intimidator. That's all I can tell you. But over the off season, we still had some energy. We still were optimistic. And I think a lot what was giving us a lot of optimism, maybe we were hanging our hat on one thing too many, was this car that was built to go to Speed Weeks in 1998. We built that car during the summer of 1997. That car had been in the wind tunnel and had been to Talladega and tested with Marcus and Mike Dillon, probably been to the wind tunnel 3 or 4 times and been tested at Talladega 2 or 3 times before your dad ever even laid eyes on it. And when we went to Daytona and tested that thing in January, I can still see that Chester Cat grin the first time he drove it. He said, this thing's good.
And I got to go into the driver's meeting, and as everyone was getting in their cars, I was on the grid, Dale Earnhardt came up to me and he goes, I just have to say, he's like, you've brought me and my daughter so much closer, your show. He's like, I love your show. I'm a huge fan. I'm like, oh, Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
And he signed my jacket and he got in his car. So like, other than his crew chief, essentially I was the last person to talk to him. And we were in the M&M's car, Ken Schrader's pit, and he's the car who crashed into Dale Earnhardt. And my mom was hanging out with the owner of the track, and after the race everyone was kind of worried, but nobody really knew anything. And I went to the hotel to watch the Clippers game. I ran upstairs to watch the Clippers game, and it was like breaking news. They announced that he had died. And I remember I ran down to the lobby to tell my mom, and she was with the track owner and everything. They didn't even know. I broke the news to the whole bar.
Holy fuck.
And like it was just a crazy
thing. Dale Earnhardt to get out of his car.
I was the first physician to get to the car. We very quickly realized that, you know, he's not breathing, and so we started CPR.
We look in the booth and we're looking on the monitor. I didn't realize the first couple times, but about the time Dale hits the wall, Kenny Schrader hits Dale. And so not only did he go forward, but then he went that way. That scared me.
Basically, once we started the CPR, it became very apparent that he had a basal skull fracture. At that point, he basically was a cardiac arrest. And therefore spending more time at the scene is not going to benefit his situation.
While Earnhardt's driver Michael Waltrip celebrates, Dale Earnhardt rides the back of an ambulance to the Halifax Medical Center.
Kenny Schrader called me around to the side and said,
I said, it's not good. He said, well, I mean, we're going to be out for a while.
And he was white as a sheet. And he said, and it just don't look good.
When you go back to the beginning with Dale and you look at all the things that you guys were able to accomplish, and you go to the end of Dale's career, what was the end? Like, was he going to drive 2 more years, 3 more years, or was it kind of a moving target with him?
I ain't going to answer that right now, but we talked more about it in 2000.
Yeah.
And I knew our plans, and I'm sure Teresa knew our plans. Was nobody was going to know what he was going to do, but me, Judy, Teresa, and him. I know what he had in mind, and it was a little after 2000.
Yeah.
It just didn't end like we wanted it. You know, 98, we won the Daytona 500, and about halfway through the year there, we wasn't running good. I changed crew chiefs and got the car a little better, but he said, man, it's me. I said, it ain't Dale. We're not giving you cars you can drive. We've got to fix the cars. And I wish now they said, yeah, it was you, go retire. But it's too late.
Having to tell that to Richard was not, you know, I mean, I didn't tell him he was dead. I didn't know he was dead. I knew it wasn't good.
As I was in Victory Lane, I just thought, I began to wonder more and more as time passed why Dale wasn't there and why Dale Jr. wasn't there. The first familiar face I saw was Schrader.
Dale had just been, you know, what I thought would probably wind up being fatally injured. And Mikey just won Daytona 500 his first race. You know, it was no decision. I needed to be down there talk to Mikey.
The moment in Victory Lane when I grabbed Schrader and I'm smiling, and I was like, can you believe this? And he just didn't look right to me.
I get to come up and tell him that. I mean, it's just, I just felt.
I let him get out there good ways and I take off. And I don't know if he was slowing down for me or what, but I was running some really good laps and I started catching him. And I'm like, I'm catching him so fast that I'm not going to have any problem passing him. I'm just going to blow right by him. So I get underneath him, going down the back straightaway. Now he's drag racing me. I'm like, great. No problem. My car is so good. I'm just going to dive into this corner and I'll clear him. I drove down in there. So did he. He drove in there as hard as he possibly could on my door and boom, sucked me around, boom, my back in the wall. Hard hit too. It was a really hard hit because we were hauling ass. Those were the most frustrating times that I had with Dale. Moments like that at the track were ones that just pissed me off, and Dale was probably grinning.
When people talk about the 1970s and 1980s, they talk about aggression. But when they talk about control inside that aggression, they talk about Dale Earnhardt. He entered the Cup Series in 1975 as a rookie with raw speed and no fear. By 1979, he had already broken through, winning Rookie of the Year and proving he could survive a full season against veterans who had dominated for years. His first championship in 1980 changed everything. He was no longer just a hard charger, he was a title threat. Through Daytona, Talladega, Darlington, and the short tracks where patience mattered more than horsepower, Earnhardt built a reputation for being present in every phase of a race. He did not disappear after a bad pit stop. He did not fade in long green flag runs. He stayed in the fight. Daytona became one of his defining battlegrounds. Talladega showed his drafting intelligence. Championships followed 7 in total, tying Richard Petty and proving that his dominance was not accidental. Drivers often said he was a problem anywhere you raced. Superspeedway, short track, intermediate oval, it did not matter. What separated Earnhardt was consistency under pressure. He finished races others could not. He survived crashes that ended seasons. He understood air movement and traffic before data tools existed. His race IQ was instinctive and mechanical at the same time. He read positioning like a chess player at 180 miles per hour. That combination of durability, timing, and awareness is why drivers respected him. Not because he was loud, not because he was intimidating, but because he did not make the same mistake twice. When Hall of Famers speak about Dale Earnhardt, their tone changes. It becomes slower, more deliberate. Drivers who raced him for decades admit that competing against him required emotional control as much as speed. They describe him in 3 words that surface again and again: smooth, relentless, inevitable. Richard Petty once said that Earnhardt understood positioning better than most drivers ever would. David Pearson respected how he waited for the right moment instead of forcing one. Darrell Waltrip admitted that when Earnhardt was in your mirror late in a race, you felt pressure building even if you had the faster car. That pressure did not come from noise. It came from precision. He could change a race with one decision in turn 4, a lift half a second later, a draft move no one expected, a line that looked ordinary until it carried more exit speed onto the straight. Drivers realized that if they gave him an inch in the final laps, he would convert it into a win. The phrase many competitors used later was punishing perfection. You could run a flawless race, hit every shift, protect your tires, execute pit strategy, and still lose because Earnhardt found something you did not see. He did not rely on chaos. He created inevitability. Jeff Gordon admitted that racing Earnhardt early in his career forced him to mature quickly. Tony Stewart spoke about how Earnhardt understood rhythm at high speed. Cale Yarborough respected how he protected position without overdriving the car. Even those who battled him hardest acknowledged that he operated with discipline behind the aggression. Earnhardt did not simply win races. He altered how others approached them. Drivers adjusted blocking strategy because of him. They studied air movement more carefully. They learned that mental endurance was as important as horsepower. That is what legends mean when they talk about him. He was not just competitive, he set a standard that defined an era. Drivers who race Dale Earnhardt rarely talk about intimidation first. They talk about awareness. They talk about how he read air on superspeedways and protected tires on long green flag runs. They remember how he stayed present for 400 miles and still made the correct decision in the final corner. His durability was not luck, it was discipline. His race IQ was not theory. It was instinct sharpened over thousands of laps. Competitors respected that he understood both the car and the moment better than most ever could. That is why older generations still measure greatness against him, not just because of championships, but because he forced everyone around him to think faster, drive smarter, and endure longer. Ask NASCAR drivers about Dale Earnhardt and they will all tell you the same thing. He was the moment.